In the beginning, there weren't any gods. There was just a Brahma, who is this kind of creative artist. He created the earth and everything, and was pretty pleased with himself. The only thing was that because he was immortal, he couldn't figure out how things couldn't also be immortal, or how his creations couldn't be either. Despite that, things blossomed and multiplied anyhow. And pretty soon, they ran out of space, and they were looking at an ecological catastrophe. You had the other creation floundering on top of each other in layers, swearing at Brahma, but they still kept on having sex and making babies. When Brahma saw all this, he fled into a cave and blubbed. It's surprising how easily you can offend an artist. But he still had to figure a solution, with all the biomass overflowing. So he scooped up a few of them, popped them in front of him, and began a consultation process. What they suggested was death. Sure, it was a crappy idea, but it's the best anyone could come up with. So Brahma agreed. Well, let's all die. And slowly, things got better. So the creatures all said goodbye to Brahma and went home. They were just leaving his cave when one of them shuffled and pegged out. They ran back into the cave shouting, "What the hell? You mean we have to die too? So what makes you different from the rest then?" asked Brahma. "Well, we know you," they said. "And that's all you could come up with? Yeah, right. You can piss right off into a huge ocean." And with that, he starts to shake his enormous snaky thing, and a huge ocean began to fill with water. "Whoever drinks this becomes immortal," said the Brahma. So off they went with the big snake, split up into teams and let the ocean fill up. The team who got the tail end got the soft job and had an easy time of it. But the ones who got the head got it a lot tougher. The big snake was pissed off that it had to fill the ocean and frequently spat streams of fire, causing all kinds of wounds and injuries. Frankly, it was pretty bad for workplace morale. And when they saw how the others were goofing off, it had them gnashing their teeth. Eventually, a teacup of this life-giving water arose, and it arose, interestingly, at the snout end of the snake. The ones nearby rushed towards it to get cured sooner. Pushing and shoving began, and a bust-up started, and there was some very ugly behaviour. Meanwhile, the ones from the tail end jumped up and legged it across the ocean. On the way, they decided among themselves that it was such a tiny teacup that there was obviously not enough for everyone. There'd be no point sharing it with those freaks. So, they get to the other side, they're kicking shit out of each other. So the really clever one turns himself into a girl with big tits and a wiggly bum and says, "Hello, boys, what are you all doing here?" So they quit fighting, so, "Hey, it's a real woman. Oh, we haven't seen one for 100 years. So let's chase her, grab her, and rip off her clothes." Then the others ganged up, jumped off the snake, ran over at the teacup, and had a quick sip each of the water of immortality. Meanwhile, the fake girlie just made a quick circuit at the beach and came back. She was followed by this whole crowd of loonies. And when they saw the others had drunk the water, they yelled, "You bitches!" and laid into them, seriously. But since the others were now immortals, they came out of the bundle unhurt. So then the immortals said, "Okay, now we're going to be the gods and live in heaven, while you freaks are going to be demons and live in the underworld." And so they split up. Since then, the so-called demons hate the so-called gods. Actually, you can see their point.